Good morning, dear students. I am Ms. Vandana Pai. In today's lecture of the subject Global Finance, we will be discussing the World Trade Organization and its impact. Okay, we will be discussing the positive impact of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, on the international trade. And in the next lecture, we will be going through negative impact. Okay, so let's see what is World Trade Organization or what WTO is. Okay, see, the World Trade Organization is an intergovernmental organization which regulates international trade. Okay, see, international trade needs regulation and control. Okay, whenever people they do trade or they conduct trade across the country's boundary, okay, at the time there should be an agency or there should be an organization who should be keenly looking at or who should clearly look at such type of trade. Okay, so such type of organization which is established, it is called as World Trade Organization. See, the World Trade Organization officially commenced on 1st January 1995 under the Marrakesh Agreement, which was signed by 123 nations on 15th April 1994. Okay, it replaced the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, which was commonly known as GATT, okay, which commenced in 1948. Okay, see, on 1st January 1995 it started operation. WTO, that is World Trade Organization, officially it started its operation from 1st January 1995. Okay, and prior to it, GATT, that is General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, it was operating or it was regulating such type of trade, okay, which was formed in 1948. Okay, the World Trade Organization deals with regulation of trade between participating countries by providing a framework for negotiating trade agreements and a dispute resolution process aimed at enforcing participants' adherence to World Trade Organization agreements, okay, which are signed by representative of member governments and ratified by their parliaments. See, what World Trade Organization does or why it has an importance into international trade. See, many of the time whenever you are establishing a contact with other countries, okay, whenever you are establishing a trade with other country or you are going international, okay, at the time, okay, due to many of the reasons, the situation might be conflicting or it might result into disputes between these two countries or these two businessmen located in two countries. Okay, so what World Trade Organization does? Yes, World Trade Organization here plays a very important role. What is the role is to resolve such type of disputes which has arisen between these two countries or these two companies which are located in two different countries. Okay, so the World Trade Organization has an important role to regulate all the transaction, and if there are certain disputes, okay, if there are certain disputes, then what it does? Yes, it tries to resolve all these disputes. Okay, getting it? So what World Trade Organization does? Yes, World Trade Organization deals with regulation of trade between all the participating countries. See, World Trade Organization does has certain member countries, okay, and when the trade happens between these member countries, okay, the trade happens between two or more more member countries, and due to some of the things, due to some of the reasons or due to some of the factors, if there is a disputable fees, okay, see, for example, rates, okay, it might be rates or the price, okay, or it might be delayed payment, Okay, due to some of these reasons or many more reasons than this, okay, if both the countries towards the trade, international trade, if they enter into a disputable phase, then here the World Trade Organization, what it does, it solves or resolves such type of disputes. Okay, getting it? Okay, then yes, most of the issues, okay, such type of issues, they are dealt by this World Trade Organization. So what World Trade Organization usually does, okay, usually it tries to negotiate. It tries to negotiate. Means, yes, it tries to, okay, resolve the conflict in such a way that both the parties, they will not be affected, or both the parties will not be hurted. Okay, see what has happened, okay, due to international trade, many of the time, okay, maybe due to the prices of the product, okay, whenever a country is importing and the other country is exporting, okay, see, as we all know, there is difference into the exchange rate, right? There is difference into the exchange rate due to many of the time, okay, one of the country or one of the party towards the international trade, they might think that the other party or the other country, okay, or the seller, they are exploiting them, okay, and due to this, if there is improper communication, then it might result into dispute. Okay, in such type of disputable phase, usually what they do, okay, yes, they approach WTO, that is World Trade Organization. And what World Trade Organization should be doing, yes, World Trade Organization should hear both the parties, okay, and it should ask both the parties to negotiate in the sense, okay, see, in management we have studied win-win strategy means the World Trade Organization, it should solve this problem in such a way that both the parties towards the dispute, they will not be affected but benefited. Okay, both the parties towards such type of such type of dispute, they should be benefited, they should not be hurted anyway. Okay, so World Trade Organization, what it does, it focuses on certain previous trade negotiation, especially from the Uruguay round. Okay, see, it refers the previous trade negotiation, and based on this previous trade negotiation, it does or it finalizes certain solution which will surely help to resolve such type of disputes into the international trade. Okay, so the World Trade Organization is attempting to so what World Trade Organization does, yes, World Trade Organization, based on the past negotiation, it does finds the solution to such type of disputes. Okay, it ensures that there will be good regulation, it ensures that there will be good relation between all the member countries, and surely it helps to solve all the problems which the international trade faces. Okay, because, okay, to ensure free flow of goods from one country to another country without any type of disputes, okay, it usually regulates, controls, and usually it observes all this or supervise all these transactions. Okay, so that both the parties, both the member countries of World Trade Organization, they will be benefited. Okay, so what World Trade Organization does, yes, World Trade Organization, it does the regulation and control of all the international trade of its member country. Okay, means if the member countries, they are stuck into some of the disputes, okay, if some of the disputes, if they interrupt their communication, okay, or if they are not ready to settle their dispute, okay, then what the World Trade Organization does? Yes, World Trade Organization refers the past negotiations, and based on that it finalizes certain decisions which will be benefiting both the parties. Okay, both the parties should not be affected, but they should be benefited by this solution. Okay, it is impartial in soluting such type of disputes. Okay, getting it? So World Trade Organization is an intergovernmental organization that is concerned with the regulation of international trade between nations. Okay, now whenever we think about the World Trade Organization, okay, there are certain impacts of World Trade Organization which can be classified into two parts. First part is positive impact and the second part is negative impact. Okay, getting it? So let's see what are the positive impact of World Trade Organization. Yes, the first positive impact, it promotes peace in nations. Okay, it promotes peace in nations. Okay, see, yes, World Trade Organization, what it does? Yes, it firstly it regulates and controls the international trade, right? Okay, see, now and then the countries, they don't enter into disputes, right? Okay, but some of the time they might enter into disputable phase. Okay, there are certain reasons. For example, it might be the rate or the price which one party is paying to another party. Okay, or the quantity of goods, it might be the quality of goods. Okay, and based on the quality and quantity of goods, the price which is charged. Okay, or it might be delayed into transportation. Okay, it might be delayed in the payment of such type of price. Okay, so this might be quite reasons due to which the both parties towards the international trade, they might enter into disputable phase. Okay, so see what the World Trade Organization does. What the World Trade Organization does? World Trade Organization. So what World Trade Organization does? Yes, World Trade Organization asks its member countries that, okay, if you think that your international trade or your transaction towards this international trade, it is entering into a disputable phase, do share that dispute with us. Is it? Do share that transaction with us. Surely, okay, we will help you to control, or we will help you to get out of the disputable phase. Is it? So in this way the World Trade Organization, it ensures peace among the nations, especially the member countries. Okay, so what happens? See, whenever it is international trade, if due to the reasons which just we have discussed, okay, due to these reasons, if both the parties towards this international trade, if, okay, they think that they are entering into a disputable phase, or they are not finally mutually agreeing upon the transaction, then what they can do? Yes, surely the World Trade Organization can be approached by these people. Okay, and they can find the solution for it. Okay, without further extending the dispute. Okay, the World Trade Organization, what it does, it negotiates the transaction. Okay, it solutes the transaction in such a way that both the parties towards such type of international trade, they will be benefited. Okay, getting it? So it ensures peace among the member countries. The second thing is disputes are handled positively. Yes, okay, see, repeatedly we are going through this point. Okay, what the World Trade Organization does? Yes, World Trade Organization at the initial stage of the dispute itself, okay, it asks the member countries to approach them. Yes, here the World Trade Organization, it plays a role of arbitrator. Yes, arbitrator, a middleman usually. Okay, what happens? See, they hear both the parties towards the international trade. Okay, they listen to both the parties towards this international trade. Okay, after carefully listening to both these parties, what happens? See, okay, yes, both the parties, they are heard thoroughly. Okay, and here the World Trade Organization is impartial. Impartial in the sense, okay, see, while they are listening to both the nations, okay, listening to both the parties from the different nations, okay, what they do, yes, they are impartial, okay, and by carefully listening this problem, this dispute, they do give solution to the dispute, okay, they give a solution to the dispute, or they do suggest something, okay, and that suggestion is never subjective in nature. The suggestion is never subjective in nature, okay. See, if they finalize some of the decision which will be favoring the first country and which will affect the second country, surely it will be termed as partial nature. But okay, the solution is given in such a way that okay, both the parties will be benefited, okay, both the parties will enjoy win-win strategy, or win-win strategy is adopted to solute such type of transaction, okay, getting it, okay. Then rules make life easier for all. Yes, WTO, it does lays certain rules related to international trade. Okay, and these rules, they are strictly to be followed by all the member countries. Okay, whenever they will be going international. Okay, now why the rules are made? Yes, to ensure discipline, right? Rules are made to ensure discipline. Okay, now whenever we think about the rules which are laid down by the World Trade Organization, the rules which are laid down by the World Trade Organization, the rules, that is the code of conduct, that is the do's and don'ts which should be followed by the member countries. Okay, why they are laid down? So that there will be no disputable fees, okay, or the parties towards the international trade, they will be clear with their rules, is it? They will be clear with their rules, okay, what they must do or what they must not do, okay. If they are clear with this, surely yes, the life will be easier, okay. Even the international trade, it will be yes benefiting all the countries, okay. Then free trade cuts the cost of living, okay. See, what is cost of living actually, or how the free trade cuts the cost of living? Yes, see, for example, whenever you trade or whenever you conduct your business at the local level, yes, you do find many of the competitors, right? Many of the competitors. But if you go international, then what happens if in that international market, if there are few competitors or if there are no competitors, surely the businessmen who will be conducting business in such markets, they will be benefited. Yes, they will face a profitable position, or their investment, their decision will be profitable in nature. Okay, so World Trade Organization, it promotes international trade, right? World Trade Organization ensures that the businessmen, they will be involving into international trade, and the goods may be transferred from one location to another location, one place to another place, okay. For example, if in the international market there is concentration of, or there is monopoly of some of the people or some of the producers, okay. If your product, if there are number of products, okay, or number of businessmen, they do involve themselves into international trade, then what will happen? Yes, that concentration will be reduced, okay. There will be too many producers, and the prices of the product, they will be moderate, and it will be quite affordable for the customers to purchase it, right? Okay, they will get superior quality of product in affordable prices, okay. So it will make their life quite easier, as well as it will be benefiting, as the customers can control their cost of living, is it? Okay, then it provides more choice of products and qualities, right? Yes, see, the products might be produced somewhere and they can be marketed somewhere, Okay, see, for example, okay, our country, okay, we do export spices, right? Okay, see, spices, they are produced somewhere and they are distributed somewhere, right? Okay, so whenever we send our spices in the international market, okay, the people who are interested in spices, the customers who prefer spices, okay, they will get it. Okay, and see, uh, they will compare the domestic product with this international or foreign product. Okay, and if they think that the foreign product is best, they can purchase it. Okay, they can purchase it. Okay, and whatsoever they do need, okay, any product whichever they need, they can easily get it, because the international market is quite accessible for them, right? It is quite easier for them to get whatsoever they need and desire. Okay, and they can fulfill their wants, right? Okay, then trade raises income. Trade raises income of whom? Okay, all those people who are involved in the international trade. For example, okay, if in the local market, if you sell your goods, okay, you will get normal profit, right? Okay, and if you want to maximize the profit and if you switch over towards the international trade, what will happen? Yes, you can earn maximum profit, right? Because you can charge more price for your product and the profit margin, it will be increased due to this, is it? And if your product is having superior quality, yes, you will get more demand from the international market, and it will be helpful for you to expand the business as well as expand the range of profit which you will be earning through international trade. Okay, so trade raises income. Then trade stimulates economic growth, is it? See, whenever you are engaging yourself into international trade, yes, uh, through certain tariffs and through certain fees, okay, you can generate revenue for the government. Yes, and if the revenue is generated for the government, surely they can implement or they can utilize those funds in development of the infrastructure of the country. Okay, surely it will lead towards economic growth. Okay, gradually it will lead towards economic growth. Okay, so whenever we think about international trade, okay, due to international trade, yes, the country will be benefited or the economy will be benefited. Okay, then basic principles. WTO establishes certain basic principles. Okay, what are the basic principles laid down by WTO? Yes, basic principles involves, okay, some of the fundamental principles, some of the principles which the member countries, they should be always obeying. Okay, if they don't obey certain principles, surely the WTO or the World Trade Organization, it can penalize that member country. Okay, due to this basic principle, what happens? Okay, the member countries, they can establish trade with any country. Okay, and both the countries, or both the parties from different countries, they will be clear about their role, they will be clear about the transaction itself. Okay, and they will be clear about the do's and don'ts. Okay, and they can, this can help to ensure discipline into the transaction, and if discipline is followed, surely, okay, no dispute will be there, right? Okay, if both the parties towards the international trade, they are clear about their role, they are clear about their responsibility, then surely it will lead towards, yes, it will leads towards peace, right? Okay, then the system encourages good governance. Okay, see, WTO, what it does, yes, it carefully looks after the transactions which happen between the member countries, is it? So Yes, the member countries, they are answerable to WTO, and WTO has a very important role in resolving the disputes which arises between such type of member countries. Okay, in such member countries, between these member countries. Okay, so WTO has its good governance. Okay, it has laid down certain rules and regulations, it has framed certain policies. Okay, do's and don'ts list is issued in favor of the people who will be involving themselves into international trade. Okay, all these things ensures good governance. Okay, means every person, every member country, whomsoever will be involving themselves into international trade, yes, how they can be benefited large at the large scale. Okay, this is clearly seen by the WTO. Okay, so these are the positive impact of WTO actually. Okay, in which it ensures peace in nations. Okay, the disputes are properly, positively handled. Okay, some rules are laid down which makes the life of the member countries easier. Okay, the trade, it ensures cost of living. Okay, cuts in cost of living, or to control the cost of living. Then it provides more choice of products. Okay, it makes access to variety of products. Okay, it raises income, it stimulates economic growth. Okay, and some of the basic principle it laid down to maintain peace, promotes peace. Okay, then the system encourages good governance. Okay, see, everything how it can happen peacefully. Okay, it is ensured by World Trade Organization. So with this we conclude today's lecture. See, students, what you do is you listen to all the lectures of global finance. Okay, and after careful listening, what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to take out some notes related to this. Okay, because all the points, they are thoroughly explained in the videos. Okay, just what you do is you note down all the points. Okay, and their explanation in your words. Okay, explanation in your words, so that it will be easier for you, to clear the concept. And if you do have any of the queries related to the videos, or related to the lectures, okay, which we have discussed till now or conducted till now, okay, what you can do is, yes, you can post your comment in the comment box. Okay, with this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.